Hi everybody, my name is Paula. Welcome back to Purpose Fit. I have a restorative yoga flow for you today. So when you are ready, you can join me on your mat. Grab some yoga blocks if you have them. If you don't have them, I would recommend getting some sturdy pillows or bolster, something you can lean on to support you during this practice so you can really relax into the poses and feel really restored by them. So whenever you're ready, get your props and have a seat with me. We'll start in this comfortable seat. If you want to, right away bring a block underneath your hips just for more space. As you can see right away, my knees can relax lower than my hips. Often that can be a great way to settle in. That doesn't feel so tight or strenuous for you. Close down your eyes. Roll the shoulders forward and back. Do it a couple times if you need to. Feel that space in the front of the shoulders and in your chest. And then draw a nice big circle in front of you with your nose. And it does kind of sound silly to draw a circle in front of you with your nose, but the reason we say that is so that you're not letting your head drop forward or drop back too much. You're keeping it pretty controlled while still finding some stretch and motion for your neck. So keep that in mind as you go. Change direction if you haven't already. So coming back to center. Pulling the chin and throat back so your ears line up over your shoulders again. Stack your shoulders over top of your hips and let your knees and ankles soften. Find a comfortable place to rest your hands and breathe. Finally, inner stillness. And if it gets too uncomfortable, of course, you can always adjust and move as needed. But remind yourself that the stillness is where the true benefit is going to be for this practice. Invite yourself into the challenge of stillness. Sometimes it's easy, but a lot of times it's difficult. Keep that in mind as you breathe here. Smoothing out your breath. Making it fuller with every inhale and every exhale. Doing your best to not be forceful, just letting it happen. As you pay attention, your breath will naturally get more expansive, smoother, more even. And use a couple more breaths here to set an intention for your practice. Something that you can think about as you're resting in these poses, something that keeps your mind here in this present moment on your mat. And then when you're ready, we'll find some movement. So moving off of your block, taking your legs out in front of you, we're going to start with a twist. So hug your right knee into your chest and maybe gently move it from side to side. Just feeling whatever the hip joint is like today. Not feeling any stiffness, any tightness. And then with that knee drawn in, you're going to flex your left foot. Keep it as straight as you can. Over to that right side, maybe hugging onto the leg and bringing the hand behind you, or hooking the elbow around if that works. Try not to dump all of your weight into that back hand. You're staying tall, lifted up, reaching the chest tall. Stay here and breathe, using every exhale to gently twist yourself deeper, hugging that right knee in to the midline. the right shoulder back. Stay soft in that back arm. Take one more breath. Unwind nice and easy. Send that knee out to the side. Sit up nice and tall. Again, pull the left toes back towards you and lean forward any amount. So right away, here's where the blocks come in. If you want something under your head, under your chest, depends how low you can get in your stretch. Hold and breathe. Utilizing your intention, whatever it is. Maybe you're even just focusing on your breath, counting every inhale, counting the same length for every exhale. Taking one more full breath. Rising yourself up when you're ready. And we'll switch on over to the other side. So right leg extends, flex the foot, draw the left knee in. Sit up as tall as you can and twist, maybe hugging onto the leg, maybe hooking your elbow. Make sure the knee doesn't sag out to the side. You're squeezing it into the middle, rolling chest open to that side and breathing. Actively pressing that right leg down, actively lifting your chest up and around to that left side. Take one more breath. Unwind and let the knee drop out. Inhale at the center. Exhale, reach your chest open over that right leg. Again, finding somewhere to land. Preferably having something under your head or chest. Using this to help your upper body really relax. Giving your upper body permission to really relax. It seems more passive, but it actually lets gravity do some more work. So you're not holding yourself up. You're letting everything sink. So you get a deeper stretch. You get a more restorative stretch. Take one more full breath. Draw yourself up nice and easy. And we're going to take a wide leg seated forward fold. So get your legs out as best you can, as long as you can feel like there's no cramping in the hip joint, and you can keep both your sit bones on the ground. Sometimes it helps to lift up a little bit and then set it back down, sitting up nice and tall again, pulling those toes back towards you. And I've got my blocks in front of me here to land on. Maybe you can inhale, sit up nice and tall. The forearms go on the blocks. Maybe a block can go under your head as you reach your. Pick the option that works for you. Again, adjusting as you. Keeping in mind also with these restorative stretches, max stretch, you're probably not stretching at 100% right now. hovering right around that 60 to 70% range, allowing you to really relax into the stretch but still get a lot of benefit from it. Arguably even more benefit because you're not straining yourself, you're not creating tension while you stretch. Take one more breath. Sit yourself up nice and easy. And we're bringing the legs straight in front of you again. Inhaling to sit up nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold over straight legs. We're just here for a breath. Inhale to round all the way up. And we're going to flip around to our tabletop. So however you get there, being as gentle as you can as you transition. Stacking up the joints, going through some cat-cow. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to round. No forcing here. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to round. One more breath. Cool, neutral spine, and we're going to get into our puppy pose. So I like to have a block underneath my chest as something to land on. You can absolutely do it without. Walk your hands forward as best you can. Drop your chest straight down. Whether it lands on something or not, you can decide. And then let either your forehead come to your mat or your chin if it can reach. So you're still slightly active through the arms, reaching the fingertips forward as best you can. Tailbone is lifted, hips are stacked over top of your knees. And then do your best to really soften the chest down. If you get into it and after a few breaths it feels like you don't need the block anymore, you can always move it aside. Keep a gentle pull in and up of the belly button, just to support the lower back. A couple more breaths here. Slowly walk it up. I like to move myself just a little bit forward first, so I'm on the forearms, and then bring hands underneath the shoulders to press up. And feeling your spine kind of shifting back to normal here. We're moving into pigeon pose. So lifting up off of the knees. I like to bring the right knee behind the right wrist and then walk that ankle up towards the left wrist as best it'll get. Ideally, your right shin would be parallel to the front edge of your mat. It's not going to happen for all of us. Walk that left leg back, and then you can use a block. If your right hip is really high off the ground, tuck your block right underneath that hip or your pillow, your prop. If you feel like you don't need that, no big deal. Bring some support underneath you. Inhale to sit up tall. Feel if your hips are level, if you're sinking into one side more than the other. And then when you're ready, lean yourself forward. Maybe you land your forearms on your block or your head. Stay and breathe. Again, finding some place to rest your head can really feel good and really help your mind turn off. I kind of imagine there's a little off button in between my eyebrows, and I connect something to that off button. So you can again find that sense of calm as you're settling in here. Shoulders are away from ears. your belly relaxes, you give those hips true permission to let go. Keeping in mind too, if pigeon does not work for you, you can always flip on your back and take figure 4. Take one more full breath. Unwinding yourself to sit up. Hands underneath shoulders. Move your props out of the way. And stretch back to downward facing dog. Just taking a quick breath here. Lifting the hips, lengthening the sides of the waist. And then bringing the left knee behind the left wrist, walking the ankle up towards the right wrist, and then really reaching that right leg back. Sit up tall again. Feel if you need a little tuck of a prop underneath that left hip. Feel that the hips are actually indeed level before you fold down and settle in. Using this time again to turn off the brain. Let go of the holding in the hips. Really allow yourself to sink into your mat, sink into your props. Taking advantage of this wonderful gravity that we have. There's a lot of cases when we get frustrated with it, but this is one of the times that gravity is our friend. It does do a lot of good for us. It does have a lot of benefit for us. Take advantage of the space you have. Take advantage of the breath that you have. One more full breath here. Unwind yourself. Nice and easy. Move the props out of the way. Okay, we're moving into Sphinx pose. So bring your legs out back behind you, lowering yourself down with control. Press the hip points into the mat. Really walk your legs back behind you. And then inhale to lift the chest with lots of strength in your core. Walk the elbows underneath the shoulders, hands out in front. Squeeze everything into the middle, and then lift up nice and tall. Lift your gaze if it works for you. Draw the shoulders back, and really imagine pulling the elbows back towards your hips and pulling the belly button in and up. Shoulder blades come together behind you. You reach your chest forward more. One more full breath. Unwinding nice and easy. Hands under shoulders, press up to a tabletop. Take your time to flip around onto your back. Taking just a couple more stretches and restorative poses here. So rolling onto your back, hugging the knees into the chest first, and maybe rocking a little side to side. And we'll go into happy babies. So elbows go inside the knees, hands grab onto the legs, ankles, outsides of the feet, wherever you can reach. Try to make some 90-degree angles with your legs and your ankles. Sink your knees to the outside of your rib cage. Relax the shoulders down and even let your tailbone be heavy towards the ground as you sink. Some people naturally, as they breathe, will find that side to side rocking motion. But if that doesn't happen and you stay nice and still in center, that's awesome too. Take one more full breath here. Unwind nice and easy. And we'll sit up just for a quick second in order to set up the last restorative pose. So one block's going to go under your head, one block's going to go in between your shoulder blades. They can be at any height that you like. Some people like to have the head slightly higher. I like to have mine nice and level, but this one underneath your shoulder blades should be right in between your shoulder blades, not on your lower back. So keep that in mind as you lay back, settle in. It does take a little bit of fidgeting to get all of your blocks centered. Give yourself patience, give yourself time, and then relax. And you can do any and almost all options with your arms and legs here. So if you want everything goes straight and just relaxes down, a little bit more mild, you can bend the knees in. A little more advanced, you can take the soles of the feet together, knees nice and wide. If it works, maybe try stretching the arms up and overhead. You probably won't be able to stay there super long, but give it a try. And usually for most people, when you first get into this, that block underneath the space of your heart, it feels uncomfortable, it feels tense. Let yourself soften around it. Really feel your body softening around that prop. Feel yourself letting go. Feel yourself unwinding. Feel yourself restoring from whatever it is that you have done in the day or the week thus far. I know you've worked hard. I know you've had struggles. You've had stress. We all do. It's okay. Bring yourself back to balance here. Bring yourself back to a space that feels good. Take 2 more breaths. And you have the option to stay right here if you want to, or you can move flat onto your mat without any props for a final resting pose. Pick your option, settle in, and breathe. Let your breath continue without so much focus around it. And bring all of your focus instead to your intention. If you haven't set one yet, or if you want to pick a new one, now's your time. What's a thought that keeps you here in this present moment on your mat? What's a thought that really allows you joy in this present moment on your mat? And know that this space is yours as long as you need it. Whenever you're ready, give yourself small, gentle motion, wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling ankles and wrists. And whatever props you're on, take your time to gently roll over to the side off of them and sit yourself up. Maybe getting into your seated pose and then rolling shoulders again, rolling the neck, drawing a big circle in front of you with your nose. Again, if that works. Meeting everything back in center, feeling yourself sink and settle, feeling the incredible space that you've made for more joy in your life, more joy that you can not only keep for yourself, enjoy yourself, but also that you can share with others. And we bring the hands together at the third eye center, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Bring the hands to the mouth, reminding us to speak clear and loving words. And we rest the hands at the heart, reminding us of our clear and loving intentions. Thank you for joining me for practice today. Namaste. Thanks again, everyone, for training with purpose, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.